Welcome pilots and co-pilots, Brian here. 737 in front of me with Alaska Airlines detailing on it. We're at KPDX in Portland today. We're going to be doing an Alaska Airlines flight down to KLAX, Los Angeles International. And it's pretty grim weather here in Portland today. It's been some cold and snowy weather across much of the US and Canada at the moment. So we're going to be using real world weather. This is the latest Zibo modded 737. I think we're on version 3.23F. Got a few stutters and so on going on here, as you can see from the video. I'm going to see if I can sort that out before recording the rest of the video, but it's due to the clamped down weather conditions, and I've probably got my settings up a bit high, but we'll see how that does. I've also got the AudioBird XP sound pack, latest version, the latest terrain radar mod, and there's the graphics updates from the RG mod, which changes certain things within the aircraft and improves the look and so on of the aircraft. So we're going to get inside, program up, and be in the air as soon as we can. So I'm just showing my route here. I'm in SkyVector here, and I've got the route itself from today's FlightAware actually. So I've programmed this in. We're going to be heading down, basically down the west coast, and then straight into, well, there's kind of like we go around, up, and then back into a runway at Los Angeles. So let's go program up. So we're in the cockpit, and I'm just about to get some power onto this beast. So let's just get our standby power and our battery power. Tie that to bat bus. I'm going to put on ground power for now. Switch that to ground. I'm going to come straight up here. Get our IRSs aligning. Let's just see. That's going to take a minute, so I've got it on high speed on that. I just check the sounds I never hope I hear. I'm going to put my lights on to dim. Actually, I might put them on bright right now. Just while I'm working on stuff in here. It's pretty grim and dark in the cockpit today with the weather outside. Got cab utils, passenger seat, right. Okay, they're on. Okay, ground. We've got some ground power. Let's put them on. I'm going to come back to the cab here. Just turn that off for now. Ooh, why did that cut the power? Let's try that again. Let's just have a look from outside. Not sure how we're going to get the gate to connect. Maybe it's not a... Maybe I don't have auto gates on this scenery. I thought we did, but... maybe not. Okay, bat bus ground. We don't need to worry about anything else just yet. I'm going to program in the route. Nav data out of date, yes, as always. So, let's go set our position. So we are at KPDX. I seem a little bit rusty, I do apologise. It's been a little while since I've been able to fly. Sometimes life gets in the way of the little fun things we want to do, and you just have to roll with it. God, that sounded a bit like a certain frizzy haired painter that we all know about. I'll be making happy little mistakes in a minute. Right to KLAX. And where my flight is... My flight is... SA 0570. I've taken a real route, but I've taken a little bit of liberty with the time because they set off at 5 PM, so that would be dark. Don't want that. The runway is what's the runway? Let me flip over and I'll show you what it is on SimBrief. So here we can see SimBrief has got its runway 10 right, and we're going to be landing on runway 25 right in LA. And we're going CASC D2, Jogan, the Q7 jet, my Jaguar direct to Burgle and Ernman 1. Okay. I've got to try and remember those things. Other pieces of information I probably need up front. We're going to be flying at 35,000 feet. My cost index up here, if you can see me highlighting these things, is 80. The average winds is going to be 300 degrees, 48 knots. Okay, these things are going to be used. We need to know our estimated takeoff weight and how much fuel we're going to be putting on. So yeah, cost index, average winds, altitude. It's having a problem where it doesn't know one at the star, but that's fine. I'm sure it'll be in there when I program it up. 22,000 pounds of fuel going on. And one final thing, vertical profile. This will give me my outside air temperature at top of climb. Here we are. We're going left to right on this one. Minus 55C. And we'll use all of those things to program this up when we're getting up in the air. So let's carry this on. We're going to put in 10 right for our runway. We've sorted that out. Go do the route. Okay, I'm going to sort my departure out before anything else. Now, it's going to be CASC D2. Okay, and I'll transition. Jogan. Right. I'll get my arrival in there as well. It's going to be... Let's see if I can see... It's supposed to be Erman... Maybe that's a completely new one. Ooh. It's not in there. So 25 right. Let's see what our options are. ILS for 25 right. Okay. What does that give me? That's why, with my nav data out of date, I'm missing this star. Crap. Oops. Let's try that. Okay. So we come out of Cascade 2. To Jogan. Then we go on Q7 to Jaguar. J-A-G-W-A. Then it's got me okay, let's see. Let's activate that. Okay, now let's, there's no vectors in there and there is no discontinuities, so that actually looks pretty good. Let's switch that around to plan. Now we can see on the display. Let's zoom in there. Now I can click on step and we can step through it. So far, so good. Yeah, it's a bit of a jump over there. Yeah. I'm calling that good. Right. Okay. So I have a route in there. Oop. I know what I need to do. Let's go to menu. Is it there? Extras. Fuel. So we should be able to do this now. It's got me at 23 and I need 22. I'll take that. Okay. That's good. Although, did it set the passengers as well? Let's just have another look. Fuel and payload. Total 126. You see, that's too low. That's going to be like... Let's just try that. So my tanks are correct, so we're going up again. 50. Okay. 45. 159. Bang on the money. Okay. Right. We'll have that. And our flight level is going to be 350 today. Our reserves are going to be 1. Our cost index was 80. It's pretty bad, I think. Apparently. These were all off that. If you remember, we were looking at that display just now. 300 degrees, the direction at 48. Our winds aloft. Cruise wind. And our outside air temperature was minus 53 C. There. Outside air temperature right now, I honestly don't know. I suppose we could tune to ATIS to find out. But I'd say based on what it is here, it's going to be about 2C. Wonder if we... how are we going to do this? Do we do slash 2C? There. Okay. It's working out on derated takeoff information there. We're going to be flaps 5 for takeoff. Our center of gravity is 8. Our trim's going to be 7.86. Let's lock in our V1, V2 and VR speeds. Okay, so we need to put 7.86 on the trim, and we need to set our airspeed to 153. Okay. Verify takeoff speeds. 139, 147, 153. Okay, we're good. We won't be able to set it. Somewhere near 8 is what we need. That'll do. And what was the other thing we needed to do? We needed to set But this is 153. So my flight director's on ready. We're going to need to get our... we're going to have to tune to ATIS in a minute for some other information. Let's put your damper on. I'll put the fuel pumps on already. I know I shouldn't. I'm going to start the APU. Okay, we'll put our position light on. Here we go, APU starting up. We'll set our altitude to 35,000 feet. Oop. Are these already set on? That's interesting. Some of these things are already set that I'm used to setting. We'll put our APU bleed on. We'll put our... Ooh. Okay. My machine locked up for a second there. It's always a little worrying. Put the dual bleed on for now. Emergency lights, they're on and armed. We're going to get ready to get engine start up and push back in a minute. I think we're pretty much going to be ready to go soon.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Where do I want to go? Well, I've got to go that way, haven't I? That looks like a building there. So let's use my mouse wheel to rotate us around. Now, these, if you want to know where any of these things are, I'll link to as much of these plugins and things in my comments below this video as I can, so you'll know what you need to do. Did that work?
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay. I'm going to set that ready. Tow is indeed driving up. I didn't test any of my fire stuff yet, but that's okay. You know, I don't really want to tune to ATIS today. Three 3031. Okay. And while he's getting in position, I shall adjust that on my display. So there it is down here on the left, 290902, and we want 3031.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
I'm going to come over here and do the same on the co-pilot side, because he's lazy and he doesn't ever seem to do anything. Right, well, they're getting ready to push back. How are we doing? Put legs up there for now. We want that back off plan to map. So let's go and have a look at the actual map in a minute. We'll let them do the pushback first.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Release parking brake. Ooh.
Starting pushback.
Something.
You may start engines.
Oop. What an idiot. Right, there we go. We're pushing back now. And here he is, swinging us around. Getting us in position. Doesn't that just look awesome? I'm gonna better jump inside and get the engine started. Okay. Oop. Packs off. Give us enough pressure to be able to start the engines. Left engine start. Hear the rumble. We are good. 14, 15, 16. And we got fuel. Second engine. We're going to put our logo on. Right. Put our anti-collision light on. I'm never quite sure the right time for that. 11, 12, 13, 14. We're getting up there. I'm guessing I should have done that a bit earlier because I just heard the door shut. I would hope that door was already closed by the time we start moving.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Okay, I'll set the parking brake. And get rid of my yoke there.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, thank you. We're going on generator 1 today. I'm going to turn off the APU bleed. Put the packs back on for now. And I'm going to turn my APU off. They're just disconnecting out there right now. There we can see they're just pulling away. We've got our engines running. There's pulling a bit of moisture out the back there.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Thanks. Taxi lights on. Oh, I know something very important I've forgotten to do. Put my window heat on. Stop us fogging up. And of course probe heat. Vital. Especially in this weather. Okay. We'll just check in a minute for hand signals and then we're good to figure out where we're going. Which was... What runway did I say we were going from? Oh, let's check for hand signals. Okay, we're good. Parking brake off. And we are going from runway 10 right. So let's have a look at this. We're here and we're going from 10 right. So we're going to go up here, across there, and straight down to the end. And let's put the throttle up. It really is misty out there. Look, you really can't see very far. And away we go. Just for a second. I'll switch these to cont. I can see some trucks just heading along by the edge of the airport there. Can't see much else though, can you? I imagine I'll be using the weather radar a little today. Let's just have a look at this. Okay. I want to keep going on this route here that I'm on now. You can just see me on this little arrow here. This is a free plugin as well. I will have the link in my video if you're interested in this. I use it all the time. Helps me navigate my way around airports. We're going to be crossing the runway. I would assume that ATC would have given us the okay for that, and I know I have no other aircraft running right now, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But kids, don't try this at home. And the other thing, of course, I'm not worrying about right now is my transponder. But when I finally get brave enough to fly on VATSIM,
approaching 2,
I will
1.
do it. What's that? Oh yeah. Multiple voices talking at me there. That one of them's the announcements in the background, and the others my runway alert system. Okay, we're going to swing around to the right. How's our speed there? Okay, 17. Really don't want to go much faster than that, certainly not on the turns. Let's ease off the throttle slightly as we swing round. And just down to the end now. And down we go. That looks like some aircraft practice thing, doesn't it, where they set fire to it and then they practice putting it out. Okay, just check I've got everything else ready to go. Turn my packs off again. Oh, yeah, drifting again. Put my weather radar on. Dialing my flaps now. The flaps in transit. Round they come over here to 5 degrees. Drifting again. Poor nose wheel control by me. Think we're good. I've set the auto brake there to RTO, rejected takeoff, but hopefully we won't need that. I shall set VNAV and LNAV. Our flight director comes alive there and shows us where we are. Now my course, I actually don't know for this runway. Should in theory my heading should be sort of, I guess, 100, 105, something like that. Doesn't actually matter too much for setting that right now. My altimeters match between myself and the very lazy co-pilot I have with me today. Now I know there's a bit of snow coming down here, so okay, we're being cleared by ATC to go straight onto the runway. I'm going to turn my landing lights on, my taxi lights off.
Approaching 10 right.
My wing. Okay. Round we come. Everybody seated.
On runway 10 right.
Let's just do a final check. Flaps, RTO, auto throttle set. VNAV, LNAV ready. My Landing lights are on. Strobes, everything's set. Routes programmed. Okay. Let's bring engines up slightly to about 40%. I'm going to do toga. Just straighten up slightly there. I should probably actually have checked my anti-ice stuff before takeoff. Oh, sorry about this. This is my... I might have to delete my explain preferences. I've just updated to 11.10. I haven't done a lot of flying. Something stuttery and horrible. So bear with me on this takeoff. It's a bit nasty. 80 knots. Okay, continuing. Okay, it's a long old run this because we got a derated takeoff. Okay, we should be getting to V1 very soon. Oops. Here's I just cheated and boosted my throttle slightly because we weren't getting there. Whoa, positive rate, gear up. Goodbye Portland. Gear is coming up. 1000. Okay. We're now, ATC has just cleared us up to 5000. Actually 6. Start bringing the flaps in slightly. And we're in the cloud. That's it. This is totally instrument. There's no VFR flying today. It's all IFR. It's IMC conditions. Just try and keep fairly on the flight director there. Okay. Passing 1500 feet. Trying to keep it fairly on the flight director route there. I've now lost total sight of the ground. Flaps are in transit and we are slowly climbing. Can just see the ground. This is pretty rough conditions. Oop, now we're going back the other way. You know what? I think this is a sign for me to engage autopilot and let it take over before I get disoriented and crash the aircraft. There we go, we're climbing through 2,700. And we can see the ground a little. Okay, let's put packs back on. Otherwise it's the old killing all my passengers again. I hate doing that. I'm going to put wing anti-ice and engine anti-ice on right now due to the temperature outside. I think that's the safest thing. And we are climbing. Nice. Okay, ATC just cleared us up to 12,000 feet. I'm just putting that in. Lock the gear. That's set to off. We're on VNAV, LNAV. I'm leaving my landing lights on until we get to 10,000 feet due to the weather conditions. We have 76 nautical miles to top of climb. It's down there, and we're going to flight level 350. So we've got some new things on the display here that I haven't seen before, which is interesting. So we have weather on there, but I'm not sure what that's showing me. I see, so we do have extra information down here. That's very, very cool. So we're on the left FMC. That's RM, RNP and ANP. I'm gonna have more stuff to go learn. Speed brakes extended. They shouldn't be, and they're not now. And I don't want them armed either right now. Can I put the terrain radar on that side? Not that I need it. I don't see any action from the terrain radar or the weather radar. Let's try terrain on this side. Okay, so the terrain only works on the left side by the look of it. What is it? Let's just turn it off again. Yeah, I don't see any difference here. That's terrain. We'll turn that off. I want weather, but I'm not seeing any weather. Maybe there's not enough rain. Oh, we're actually peaking out just above the top of the clouds. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to turn my landing lights off now. That's good. Now we've been cleared up to 35,000. Let's go straight up. This feels very soothing to be out flying. Been a challenging few weeks. Family issues, everybody getting flu, Christmas. I haven't had a chance to do a single flight. Yeah, this is nice. Let's have a look outside, shall we? Nice. It's actually a nice day up here. So let's have a look in at our what we've got here. The top of descent is 754 nautical miles, so that's quite the distance. I think we've got about an hour and a half flight time. I'm not sure what she's announcing right now, because I haven't turned the seatbelt sign off yet. Oops, I just turned no smoking off. I'm giving the ideas. I will, however, let them walk around the cabin now. Everything looks good. Got my information. 65 nautical miles still to go to top the climb. So anyway, I don't think there's anything more really to worry about. At 18,000 feet, I'll hit the standard button here to set our standard 2992 for our altimeter. But apart from that, this is hopefully going to be an event-free flight. So if you don't hear from me, you're going to join me in just a few seconds, and we'll be just before the top of our descent, heading down towards LA, and hopefully my frame rates will be a little better than they have been. So see you in a minute. Welcome back. Well, we've got some lovely skies right now. I'm not sure if this is truly real world weather or whether the plugin's just not downloading the weather. Always a chance. We're just started. Here we are. We had descended slightly to 34,000 feet. There's an absolutely horrendous turbulence on the flight today. I guess that's with the cold conditions and the front that's been moving across the US has left some pretty nasty air. So we're now descending, and we'll be making our way down in towards LA very soon. I've had a bit of a fun flight. It's been pretty bumpy, so I actually put the fasten seatbelt sign back on and made everybody go and sit down because yeah, where the wings were bouncing. So we're on our way down. It's just, I'm not sure what our coming in time is going to be. Speed, can I remember how to read this? 45. Does it do forecast? No. Drag required, okay. I'll deal with that, but we probably still have a good 25 minutes at least, probably before we come into land. We've got some cloud coming through there. Oh, it's an old message for drag required. We don't need that now. Right, so I'm going to keep managing this flight as we head in, and you'll join in with me maybe a little bit lower down. So we're a little lower now. We're just under 17,000 feet, so I need to find out what the ATIS is for LA so that I can get my correct altimeter settings.
Altimeter settings.
Yes, altimeter settings. I'm just going to do it. So I think ATIS is 133.8. So I'm going to try and put that in here. So .8. Let's switch that over and have a listen. Well, we're too far away still, maybe. Of course, what I have in the real world might not be what it is in X-Plane. That's sometimes the case. So there's KLAX. 135.65. There you go. It's not the same. That's why I'm not hearing anything. So let's switch that back. 135.65, and we'll switch that back over, shall we? And keep listening. That was what that said, wasn't it? Altimeter is 3010 anyway, so I'm going to use that. We're just doing a turn. Oop. 30. Let's turn that off and bring that down to 3010. Okay, we have matching now. This is.
Los Angeles INTL information.
Here we go.
2200 Zulu weather. Wind 310 at 9, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 23, dew point -1. Altimeter 3008. Arriving runways 25 right, 24 left, 25 left, 24 right. Departing runways 25 right, 24 left, 25 left, 24 right. Advise on initial contact, you have India.
Okay. We keep our descent going. So the next thing I would deal with, which again I'm going to cheat slightly, is working out what my what glide slope's that for. That's 24 left, 6 left, 6 right. It's 25 right is what we're trying to land on. .25 right. It's going to be treble 1.1, so I'm going to tune nav 1 and nav 2. Just save me typing that in, but look, there we are, treble 1.1, treble 1.1. Now I'm actually going to put my landing lights on now. I'm going to extend them. I think in the real world they can use them to add a slight amount of extra drag when coming to land, but 11,000 feet, so we're nearly at 10,000 anyway. The weather here is pretty nice. It's a lot nicer than what we left behind. And we're turning again. So even though the ILS is kind of picking up here, it's a bit ludicrous. We're way off. Yep. What airport's that? Now if I had my Google Maps plugin running right now I would tell you, but I haven't got that running. I'm just getting back into the swing of flying again. I haven't got all my toys and tools up and running. So when we reach the next waypoint it should be for 10,000 feet, and it looks like we're going to be bang on. That's brilliant. We're a little fast, and we've got to hit, we're at under 250 before 10,000 feet, so that's brilliant. We should be down to 240. Got a bit of mist and a bit of scattered cloud high in the sky. All perfectly acceptable. We're doing the pretty fast approach down in now. I'm not sure weather's working at all right now, but let's see what terrain tells me. There are some mountains off to the right there. In theory it should pick them up. So while I've got some time, let's look for 25 right and look at the approach procedure. So our approach course is 251. Okay, we've already got our localizer set in at 111.1. So 251, the approach, the airport elevation is 128. So we'll put 100 in there. 251, 100. I think we're good. Yeah, and we're already programmed in for this approach, so this is all fine. And we shouldn't have to worry about a missed approach. Is going to be 2,000, so that's my other piece of information I need. I'm going to put 251. Dial this one around to 251. I'll put the heading in as 251 as well. Let's make that 251 as well. They're all going to match. Bring that round. Heading bugs coming around on the display there. There we go. And move this down to 2,000 actually, because that will be our missed approach altitude. We're at 7,000 right now and descending. Okay, we've not long to go. I like the fact even as you go down to look at this, you can hear more of the aircon unit because you're leaning in closer. Isn't that cool? Just this is the latest Audiobird XP sound pack as well, the latest Zibo mod. The RD texture enhancements, the latest terrain radar on Windows 10 with X-Plane 11.10. Oh look, and you can see LA in the distance over there. And I've got some LA VFR models since I last flew this route, so it looks a lot cooler than it did before. There's a lot more buildings. They are the buildings as they look in downtown LA. I'll provide the link to that. That's quite a hefty download. And I haven't gone... I'm going to do another flying around the region here to look at the landmarks. So let's just get ahead of ourselves a bit here. I'll put that auto braking to 2. So I know I've got my ILSs programmed in. Okay, we can see the airport ahead. Right now, skies are clear, but of course we all know X-Plane. Suddenly full cloud cover could appear from nowhere any minute now. Now I know what I can do while I'm here. I need to choose, we're going to do a 30 degree flap approach, which is going to be 150 knots. So I have selected that. Now we're keeping our speed up for now. Oop. I put my foot on my rudder pedals there and kicked the plane. Okay, I'm going to drop 1 degree of flap to bring our speeds way down. Now we're slowing down because we're approaching pretty fast. We're about 15 nautical miles out. Maybe a little further out than I would usually. Is it going to say drag required there? I bet it did. Yep. Let's clear that. Help us bring the speed down. Good. This is what I want. We're coming down here. About 192, something like that. I'm going to 2 degrees of flap.
As we go.
I'm going to switch to approach, and we're going to bring this
2500.
let's bring it down to 160 right now. Up to 5, 10, 15. It's now cranking down 15 degrees of flap. We've got drag on right now as we're trying to reduce our speed. And we're coming up on that pretty fast now. Okay, I'm gonna arm the speed brakes. We're now slow enough. Gear is coming down. That'll give us all the drag we need. There we go. We're throttling up to compensate for that. Three greens. We are locked. At this stage, and activate. Oh, we've really cleared out now. No more haze. Nice. Okay, our diamonds are in the middle there and in the middle there. We are good. I'm going to bring this down to, is it 150? 154 that. We're locked. Actually, that's 100 on there. Okay, I can see 2 white and 2 red on the pappies, so we're good. 840 our radar is showing us above the ground. (251), 251, 251. Our missed approach altitude is 2000. Our landing lights are on.
25 right.
Auto brake is set to position 2 from when we land. Spoilers are armed. Hello LA. In we come.
500.
Pretty smooth.
100.
Diamonds are still good.
300. 200.
Are on the money. Down we come.
100.
We're going to nail this. Look at that. Is it going to roll out
30.
and flare?
10.
Nice.
80 knots.
Oh, we even got a round of applause from the passengers. How nice is that? Welcome to KLAX. Yep, she's just telling them to stay seated. Nice, busy airport this. Look at all those planes. Luckily for me, our parking is straight ahead. Oop, I know why it's doing that. Right, let's tidy up. Swing us round. In we come. Oh, this is double. This is for the where the A380 goes, I guess. Usually. There we go. And we are parked. Put my there we go. We are now fully parked. I'm probably blinding the poor guy because I did forget to turn my landing lights off and switch my taxi and runway lights on. It's difficult when you're just one person doing the whole lot. Okay. Right. Spoilers are back in. Flaps are back up. I forgot to start my APU. I can probably take ground to power for now. In which case, I think I can kill the engines. Cool. Now start turning everything off. There we go. So thank you very much for flying with me today. Oh, something's complaining. Not sure. It's probably because I turned the hydraulic pumps off before I let the engine finish spinning down. Something like that. Anyway, thank you very much for flying with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back to normal service soon, I'm sure. I will be doing a new monthly look at freeware that's available for X-Plane. That video is going to start coming out soon. Oh, doors open so the passengers can be unloading. I just heard that. Thanks for flying, and I'll see you again soon.